What is up, guys? Welcome to the Meaning of Podcast. I'm Ace.
This is Ep80.
And this is the podcast where we talk about your favorite directors and the deeper meaning within their films. However, once again, we are doing a very different podcast.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about Adventures of RB3. We're also going to be talking about Endgame and Endgame anticipation. Predictions. I kind of want to have a little slighter conversation about fandom and MCU fandom and fandom in general, because I'm also a Game of Thrones nerd and I'm having Game of Thrones stuff come up in my life. Attack on Titan is coming back this weekend. The Star Wars trailer came out. Oh my God, RB3, I'm losing my mind. My nerd brain, my nerd heart is having a breakout moment. And I feel like breaking out in song, which I've been doing all week. So we're going to be doing all that this week and this episode on the Meaning of Podcast. But we're going to start first with full disclosure. Because we are an honest group of people.
Honest?
We don't BS like some other podcasts do. No,
that's true. But this episode is kind of BS.
It is a little bit.
It's like I was trying to think of what's the title of the episode.
This title episode is called "You Broke My Heart." RB3. You sent me a text and you said, "Hey man, remember all the hate and shit I gave Infinity War?"
I did not hate Infinity War.
Well, guess what? This guy's going to the Endgame premiere.
Not the premiere. It's not the premiere.
And those horns went off in the text, bro.
No, look at this dude, man. These fake narratives.
You sent me that text, and I can't lie. My first reaction was like, man, good for RB3. And my second reaction was like, this guy.
Nah, man.
And I texted you back, and I'm like, man, that's the coolest thing ever. And you're like, oh, well, I don't know, man. And I'm like, you don't know? Infinity War hater over here?
Nah, I'm not a hater, bro. I'm not
calling
a hater.
it worst movie of the year.
All right, now it's just putting words in my mouth, man. Listen, I would not hate a movie.
You saw Endgame.
Yeah, I saw Endgame. Yeah.
Full disclosure, RB3 has already seen Endgame.
Yeah.
I want everyone in the comments. I want everyone over on the iTunes feed to tweet at RB3 and give him crap.
I direct RB3. Yes.
For not inviting his co-host.
I would have invited you. I was going.
I know
as a
you
plus
would have.
one.
I'm playing with that.
I was a plus one. Salute to Makia McCarthy, great guest, normal panelist on Collider Heroes and a bunch of other things, Nerdist. She got me to plus one. Bless her heart. That's making a young boy's dreams come true. Let me talk about the first Avengers movie, Ace. The first Avengers movie I saw May 2012 opening weekend on a Saturday in Torrance, California. AMC Del Amo 18. It was me, my dad, my sister, packed into a crowded theater early Saturday morning. And I've always proclaimed that the moment when Bruce Banner comes up and they're like, when Captain America tells him, it's time to get angry, time to get angry. He says, "That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry." He hulks up, punches the ship, and the fucking crowd, the entire crowd stood up and applauded, bro. The entire crowd. That's my favorite movie experience of all time, bro. So I'm going into this saying that Avengers Endgame might be up there, bro.
Oh, I don't want no spoilers. I don't want no thoughts.
In terms of epicness, it's there. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anyone who deserves to go, now that I'm breaking this joke, if there's anyone that deserves to go, I'm happy it was you.
Nah, man.
And that's some other people who are like, I'm seeing it for the third time today. And it's like, man, come on.
Yeah, I was in bathroom.
Like, there's some people are like, I went to the premiere and I went to 2 screenings. It's like, bro, share.
Yeah, nah, I was like, in line for the bathroom, and then one dude was literally on the phone. It's like, yeah, I went to the premiere tonight. We're getting ready to see it again, though. Like, holy shit, are you kidding me?
Come on.
I saw some people very, work in this office who I know went to the premiere last night.
Damn. that's to me that's cold, man. That's cold.
Hey, man, but you gotta.
Some of us normal people pay like $25 to go see it, and you're seeing it twice for free. Come on, man.
I mean, I'm only seeing it once for free.
I know you. I'm saying like other homies. I'm like, bro, come on, share, man.
Hey, man,
share the pie.
This is the movie. Once you see it, you're gonna realize why they.
I honestly, man, like this past week, I'm catching up on Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I had like this emotional. I'm not an emotional guy, to be honest. Like, I don't cry in movies. I don't cry in TV. But I'm getting emotional, man. I'm getting emotional with Game of Thrones. They had a very emotional episode this past Sunday. I'm getting emotional with Star Wars Rebels. I'm honestly to the point where I honestly would not be. The Galaxy's Edge opening up. I already know that I'm probably gonna cry, and I'm not a crier. I am prepping myself for just like breaking down in the theater. Like I don't care what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I kind of already know my thoughts and feelings because my anticipation level is on another level. Yeah. And I'm just so hyped to the point that they could just literally just show Iron Man and I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah. Well, see, that was my problem with the first Infinity War, man. It was like all they did was just show Iron Man.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Thor. We're going to talk about that. This movie was a lot more than that. So.
But yeah, I mean, obviously that's you know, house cleaning 101 is the fact that RB3 has already seen it. However, we are still going to have a significant discussion about it for the normal people like me and you, whoever's listening to this, who are going to see it on Thursday or Friday or Saturday or whatever time this weekend. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting time, an exciting moment for this conclusion to this epic. It's something I don't think we'll ever see again, to be honest. Kind of like how Game of Thrones is something we'll never see again. I think the MCU is something we'll never see again. Not at this level. We'll see it again, maybe like 5 or 6 movies or something like that, but not like 22, a TV show, 22 movies that's basically a TV show with a connecting story between all of them. I don't know if you disagree or agree with that. I just don't think it's going to be something we see for a while at least.
Yeah, I mean... Something might come up. But.
I think something might come up, but I feel like now more than ever, people have been trying to do this for the past 10 years, and no one has come close to the fact that people have bombed. Like, look at the Dark Universe.
People go into it thinking...
And the DCEU.
Well, see, people go into it thinking they can make a TV show. People think it's a TV show. It's not... To me, it's like they're 22 individual movies.
Sure.
You know? And at least for me, that was my problem with Infinity War. Is like, it didn't even feel like... It's
already
movie.
Talking
like,
shit, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm telling you, like, because you keep saying I hate it. I don't hate it, though. I really don't hate it. I saw it like 5 times, or I saw it like 4 times in theaters. So, like, I definitely don't hate it. Yeah. But I'm saying that to say, like, all of the reason why the other universes don't work because they're so concerned with, we got to set up this, we got to set up that, we got to set up that, we got to do this. Like, literally watch the first Iron Man movie.
What do you think of...
It's his own entirely own movie.
We've had this conversation before of Deathly Hallows Part 1. You like Deathly Hallows Part 1.
I love that one. Yeah, I love that one.
It's the same thing. Deathly Hallows Part 1.
No, not at all, man.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of
conflict. It's a great movie.
But what's the But I think it is a great movie.
I think it's a great movie, and I think Infinity War is a great movie. And I think it's all kind of like leading up to eventually freaking Dumbledore and Harry versus freaking Voldemort. Like that's we know what's going to happen, and we don't get it in Part 1.
Here's what I say is the difference between Harry Potter and this one. Like the first Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, is like all emotion, and the second one is all action. To me, Infinity War felt like all action,
and the second one all emotion.
The second one all emotion.
That's an interesting point. So, what do you think of? This is me just spitballing right now because it's not important. You're a Twilight guy. What do you think of Breaking Dawn Part 1?
It's super boring.
What do you think of Catching Fire Part 1? Because I'm a Hunger Games guy.
Mockingjay Part 1.
Mockingjay Part 1. Because I'm a Hunger Games guy to a T. Like I love the series. I love the books. Like I love Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. What do you think of Mockingjay Part 1?
Well, I mean that was difficult because the book doesn't have a good ending.
Sure.
Like the book itself just doesn't have a good ending, and the movie is an adaptation of the book. So it's like the part 1 is like enjoyable because it kind of is its own story in and of itself. Like it introduces a lot of new things, but it is also like it can be a self-contained thing. It's like its whole through line with them making a documentary and like all this stuff, whatever. The second one had the same problem as the book, where it just ended like out of nowhere, you know. And they could have. I feel like that was a wasted opportunity where they could have like, if they would have spaced out a lot of the events in the second movie throughout the first movie. The first movie is like not bad, but it is kind of like slow. But I like the slowness of it because I think it's different for that franchise, you know. But I mean, this, you know, Infinity War is like, you know, not slow. That one keeps it going. But I almost wish. I mean, you know, Endgame is 3 hours.
Yeah.
After watching that movie, I'm like, damn, man. If Infinity War was 3 hours, I think like
it would have been too much.
No, I think they would have like had a lot more time to like develop things and had a lot more time to like, you know, because I felt like this movie was like perfectly pasted.
Yeah.
Endgame at least.
It's interesting because it's a conversation that I literally just had this conversation last night on Cast Really Talk about Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones similarly had an episode this past Sunday where it was essentially all set up for the eventual battle that we're going to get next episode, which is kind of like a part 1, for lack of a better word. And since Twilight did that, since Harry Potter did that, since Hunger Games did that, since MCU is now doing that, we're seeing the part 2. And it's an interesting conversation of having this part 1 and part 2. What do you think of that in general?
But look at the ones that like have the most like box office success out of those, right? Mockingjay Part 2 made less than Mockingjay Part 1, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how the Twilight ones went. I think the second one's pretty successful.
Part 2 made a lot of money.
But the second Harry Potter movie, the first Harry Potter movie was great and propelled and made audiences ready to see the second. Whereas the Mockingjay ones, like, it was okay. I really enjoyed the first Mockingjay, but it's not. It didn't have the same kind of like to it and its
action, especially after Catching Fire. Catching Fire was just on firing on all cylinders, for lack of a better word, because it really was. You're right. It was like this kind of like, oh, this is what we're getting, because Catching Fire was just like balls bang, to the wall action, craziness, like sides and different opening mythology of Hunger Games. Like it was serious. Yeah, that's a good point. What do you think of part 1s and part 2s in general? I know they Russo's and Kevin Feige didn't want to call it part 1 and part 2, but that's essentially what it is. What do you think of that mentality? And I forget which one was the first. Was it Deathly Hallows, the first one that did that?
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah,
and then Twilight.
But that was such a big book Hunger Games. It made sense to do that one.
And then Twilight, then Hunger Games, and obviously now MCU. I'm sure
Divergent did it too.
Divergent.
But the second one never came out.
Yeah.
The part 2 never came out.
I like Divergent. I'm the one weird guy who does. At least I like the first 2.
Yeah, I've only seen the first one. So.
And I like, what's the other one? Maze Runner. Yeah, I like that one too.
Oh, man. Salute to that guy, Dylan, whatever.
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, for that car accident.
He almost died, bro.
Yeah, no.
He almost got killed. Like, I remember reading that article, and it said, like, Dylan O'Brien might not make it. And I was like, yo.
That's crazy.
That's the craziest article, because they were like, he's almost in a coma when he got, because it was a crazy stunt. But I like those movies too, and I like the part 3 of that movie as well. But it's an interesting conversation. Essentially, they do this based on books, and it's essentially character moments that we eventually know is going to lead to a sad conclusion, because we always anticipate death with these kind of movies, whether it's Harry Potter, whether it's Mockingjay, whether it's Infinity War, Twilight. Like, we expect, Cap's gonna die. Dumbledore's, or Harry's gonna die, or one of Harry's friends is gonna die, or Ron's gonna die. Like, we don't know. Like, we expect this kind of conversation to come up, or where we have character moments and character development, to the point that some people call it unnecessary, or some people even call it fan service. I don't know what you think of that as far as part 1s to this part 2 conclusion.
Well, for me, it's like fan service is fan service as long as this service is like an overall story. Because for me, like I said, like, to me, Infinity War also the problem with Infinity War is that, like, it felt so repetitive as a structure thing. It was like every other scene, it was like, we have to do something. And then, we're going to do that plan. It doesn't work out. Or it comes down to some choice of like, can you please do something for me? It's time to do it. It doesn't happen. The first Infinity War just had that repetitiveness that, like, really, really kind of irked me the wrong way, I think the purpose in that was to, like, service this whole idea of, like, stakes, of what stakes are. And then the ultimate stake is the snap, right? That's the ultimate, like, the big shebang or whatever, and that's like, so in that, it's not, I guess in the MCU's context, it's not really fan service. It's more of like, these are the stakes we got to establish to get us into part 2. Whereas for me, Harry Potter feels like it's one through line.
It's one movie.
Yeah, you could cut on part 1 and part 2 back to back, and it's like, it's the same thing. Whereas I feel like Infinity War and Endgame, they are like part 1 and part 2, but they're also separate things too. You know what I mean? Like, now I see why the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige were like,
let's not call it part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. It's they feel like more separate stories. They have separate structures. They're going after, but that's but the same could be said about trilogies too, right? Like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That move, a lot of people say the first one was the origin story, the second was the setup, the third one is the payoff. But in and of themselves, I always felt like the second Lord of the Rings movie, The Two Towers, it does have its own established, like, theme and identity and kind of style that separates it from the third part, the Return of the King. That's more epic. That's more of a gigantic fantasy war movie. So,
what do you think of cliffhangers? What do you think of this idea of setup, and then saying, next time you'll get it in the next movie or in the next episode? What do you think of that? Do you think that's a cheap writing tool, or do you think that works?
I think it's pretty cheap. It depends on how it's used, you know.
Voldemort getting the Elder Wand, or what's the Mockingjay one? PETA waking up.
Oh yeah, waking up.
Or Endgame is the snap and everyone dies. Infinity War. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All those are cliffhangers essentially for part ones. I don't know what the Twilight one was. I forgot. But essentially, it always ends that way. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, cliffhangers are just. I mean, that's more of a TV convention, you know. That came.
But
from
I just
TV.
named 3 that are movie ones.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the whole serialization thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially all of the MCU movies have a cliffhanger and an end credit scene, right? That little piece that just
That's a good point.
leaves you irking for more. So it's kind of like an extension of that, except I feel like Infinity War is a giant post-credit scene that leads into Avengers Endgame.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with cliffhangers per se, because, you know, the original Star Wars trilogy, Empire Strikes Back, that ended in a way that had a very cliffhangery type thing. But then at the same time, though, when you really think about that movie, in the process of making those original trilogy movies, like, they weren't intended to like be a franchise. Like, they wrote them one at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That's a good point. But I still feel like once Empire Strikes Back was set, they kind of knew where they were going. At least George kind of knew.
I mean, he had ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, of course he has ideas.
I think it was mainly after 1. He was like, I don't know, it's a trilogy now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Like, he definitely had no idea.
He had ideas, but he had the foresight of bringing in a different director, different writers, and kind of kind of help him formulate where the story would go. It's not the same exact thing as...
You're leading to my next topic, because I really want to talk about it as someone who is... you can name... I love a lot of things, and once again, I've always said that I'm a nerd, and I'm very proud of that fact. But there's always one thing that reigns supreme to me. I mean, obviously, I can go off and off about anime and Attack on Titan, but one thing still remains supreme leader of fandom, of love, than anything else in my life when it comes to this kind of stuff, and that's Star Wars. Right. And you had the privilege of going to Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to talk about this new trilogy and where it's going and where it's headed, because we just talked about cliffhanger. I mean, The Force Awakens, my God.
Oh, yeah, biggest cliffhanger
in Star Wars history.
Yeah. Well, besides the hand being cut off, but... Or besides the I'm your father thing, you know? Like.
Yeah, but I'm talking like movie, like literally ends on a cliffhanger where we don't see the next word
yeah, it's on
action.
the cliff. Yeah, it literally ends on a cliff. Yeah.
Literally on a cliff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of want to talk about this new trilogy of Star Wars. First, we've talked about it a lot, but I want to let everyone know, what are your general feelings of this new Ray, J.J. Abrams / Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy? General feelings. Do you like it? Do you not like it?
No, I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan. I enjoyed the Force Awakens probably the most out of the new series. The Last Jedi, as you know, you and I both remember when we first saw it, I wasn't like the biggest fan of it.
Yeah.
Over time, though, I think that movie has grown on me a lot.
Same. Because I was on the same page as you. I just really didn't like certain things.
Yeah.
The things we liked. The things we didn't like. We didn't like.
Yeah. But you know, as time progressed, like, I've come to appreciate the things I like a lot more and more.
Force Awakens as well?
Force Awakens, yeah. I mean, a lot of people criticize it for being a remake of the original. I don't personally. I mean, of course it is very similar. Of course it is kind of a remake. But at the same time, I think that's what you need to like start this new trilogy, to introduce it to a new audience. Because I talked to people like my buddy Cade. My buddy Cade, he was on the show a couple times. He saw Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, and Solo, but he's never seen the original trilogy nor the prequels. So for him, this is
Star Wars,
you know, and for a lot of people, that is Star Wars. So we just have to be okay with that.
100%.
And I think that's, you know, it's fine. I mean, I like the idea of having a girl like Rey being the only thing is like I felt shafted in the Last Jedi because my boy Finn, who I had the biggest appreciation for, he had the weakest storyline.
100%.
And I felt like they botched the whole thing with Leia, with the flying and all that. I thought that was just ridiculous. But but for me, like I was watching it literally the day we landed in Chicago. The Last Jedi. I was watching it. So we were watching it the day we landed. And man, the opening of that movie is so brilliant, man. Like the whole thing with the bombers.
Oh, with the bombs and Tico. I forget her name. Paige Tico.
Mm-hmm. And then the control falls in. I'm telling you, Rian Johnson, like he is one of the best directors like of our time. You know what I mean? Like, and the way he just that scene alone is like prime filmmaking. It's probably some of the best filmmaking we've seen in a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? So all of that, I have a lot of appreciation of The Last Jedi on that level. But in terms of all the other stuff, in terms of the race, in terms of the Finn stuff, and in terms of the Poe stuff, in terms of the Leia stuff, is like I could just throw that away.
Yeah, that's kind of your Last Jedi thoughts, and then we already heard your general thoughts on this, and it's kind of what I think as well, as far as like, I really, really love Rey to the point that like she's my background screen on my phone, like we don't have to get into it, but it kind of leads into my conversation of Star Wars Celebration and the new trailer, and I want to hear your thoughts. Is this going to be what everyone is saying, that it's like J.J. Abrams saving us from the tragedy of Rian Johnson's Last Jedi and retconning everything and bringing back a character that, you know, harkens back to the originals? And what do you think of the, first of all, of the trailer and of the direction you think it's heading?
Right. I mean, for me, it's like, I don't really have an opinion on the trailer because the trailer didn't really give me anything. Like, personally,
as someone who cried watching it.
I was gonna say, like,
but I definitely was emotional and excited.
But see, like, I was emotional too, just because it was like seeing Rey again. It was seeing like the people again, you know. But at the same time, I really don't know, like, if what are they calling it, retconning? What are they call, you know, like, I don't. Based on that trailer told us nothing. That's what I feel like, at least.
That's true.
I feel like that trailer told us less probably than I knew going into it, just off of like my assumptions and stuff like that. This trailer kind of removed a lot of that, you know, which a lot of people saying is disregarding the theme of The Last Jedi, where The Last Jedi was like, forget about the past, it's about the future. But I think what people are missing with The Last Jedi was really saying, like, on a deeper level, I think it was saying forget about past traditions, but remember the legacies and remember the ideas. So I think having the title of The Rise of the Skywalkers is kind of elevating the Skywalker name, the Skywalker idea, outside of it just being a family thing and being a bigger, broader concept.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that's what The Last Jedi, especially with that last scene with the kids playing with the toy of Luke, and you know they're looking into the sky. I think that really, and you know, I think this movie's gonna be an elevation of that theme.
Yeah, so that's great. I can't wait, and obviously I'm crossing my fingers, but I really do think it's gonna be successful in the terms of the themes that it's trying to hit. Yeah. I love that J.J. Abrams has made it a point to talk about how he's trying to tie in all the movies, and I'm like, bro, as someone who loves all the Star Wars movies, like I've talked about this with other people who don't necessarily agree, but I've said it many times and I'll say it again. I enjoy every single Star Wars movie, every single one.
From
I'm the biggest prequel fan you'll ever see. I love The Phantom Menace. I love Attack of the Clones. I love Revenge of the Sith. I love Rogue One. Every single Star Wars film. Obviously there's mistakes in some. Obviously there's better ones than others. But I enjoy every single Star Wars movie. I've never seen one that haven't walked away being happy in some sense. Even Solo, even Rogue One, even ones that people, even Jedi or whatever ones that people want to say, it's not good, or it's bad, or it destroyed Star Wars. Like, like it really is a franchise that I've enjoyed every single one. So the fact that he says, I'm going to reference every single, I'm like, bro, you got me. I'm in.
That's interesting.
And the fact that the Emperor is coming back too is someone who, you know, gets really nerdy about that, especially with something like The Phantom Menace, as someone who enjoyed the political aspect of The Phantom Menace. And we've talked about that when we did our meeting of Star Wars.
Yeah.
how George Lucas wants to incorporate politics into Star Wars.
Right.
And
very
as
George
much
Bush
as
era politics.
exactly, and as much as everyone hated that, I liked it. Like in retrospect, obviously, as a kid, I was just like Darth Maul, cool.
Yeah.
But like now, rewatching the Phantom Menace, which I did a couple days ago, I love that stuff. I think it's so cool how we have someone like a Queen Amidala being like, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm confronted with this, war and occupation and foreign militaries occupying my territory, like all this kind of stuff that people hated. I love now. But I'm just excited for this new movie. I'm excited for Star Wars and what it represents. And it's an interesting conversation because we're talking about, set up to the conclusion of something with Endgame, and we're going to get the same thing now with The Rise of Skywalker.
All right.
And I'm so pumped for it.
Except, for me, like, at least with Infinity War and Endgame, you kind of have an idea of where they could go with it. This movie, I have no idea how they could end this series. Like, I feel like there's a lot to wrap up just in a 2-hour movie.
That's very true.
For this series.
I don't think it'll be 2 hours.
Or whatever
That's
it is.
That's going to probably be like 3.
3? You think it'll be 3? Oh, man.
The Last Jedi was 2:35.
Like well, I mean, that's Rian Johnson, though. That's
2:35. I was like, yo, 2:35? That's the longest Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah, that's Rian
I think
Johnson.
JJ is going to be like, bro, make it 2:45.
2:45.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. But, I think they definitely need to, because for me, I left The Last Jedi with more questions than I came away with, than I came into that movie with. So
I'm a big fan of the big, enormous, for lack of a better word, religious themes of Star Wars, of the Force and of connection and of being one and kind of the Buddhist themes, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that, so I really want to see how that's incorporated in this new movie. But I first want to talk about your experience, man. You went to Star Wars Celebration. We've been to Comic-Con together. We've driven up to Comic-Con together our first year.
Yeah.
And then we drove up with Brian the following year.
Second year, that's right.
But we've experienced Comic-Con, which is obviously huge and insane and crazy, and you don't sleep. And it's a lot of fun, Eventually, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because at first you're like, this is too much, but then it's fun. I've always wanted to go to Star Wars Celebration. I just proclaimed myself as the biggest Star Wars nerd ever. But you went, man. I want to hear about it.
I went for with the Schmo down, and it was a great time, man. I thought I had a really dope time. I didn't really get a lot of time in the convention in and of itself.
Sure, but you got to experience Chicago, man.
Yeah, Chicago was the spot, man. Chicago is like my favorite city, like outside of Compton.
The two big buff Nigerian homies tackle you in the street.
Did Justice Smollett, how you doing, man?
Two Nigerian homies were like, mega.
Yeah, nah, I couldn't believe it. They really beat my ass, and then I flipped the report. But that's the thing, man. See, I was always
what's the Nigerian accent? I can't do it.
I like to do is,
why are you running?
Have
you seen that meme? Have you not seen that? Why are you running?
Yeah. Only Nigerian I could do is Will Smith in Concussion.
Yeah. But either way, you got to experience Chicago and Star Wars Celebration.
Chicago was lit, man.
Yeah.
Besides the flight, besides the flight was awful.
We'll get into that later.
But yeah, the city of Chicago, the deep dish pizza. That's my favorite.
Was it good?
That's
the best.
That's love, bro.
Was that the best pizza you ever had?
Easy.
Really?
Easy.
Wow.
They have this place called Portello's out there, like a hot dog spot. It was really dope.
I heard about the Illuminatis. What is that place called?
Oh, Illuminati.
The Illuminatis,
bro. Illuminati. Illuminati or whatever. I don't fucking know. I can't pronounce these.
I was full disclosure. I was on the Wangers 2 days ago. Or I don't know, I forget timelines.
Yeah, it might be out today.
Yeah. And we talked, Brian and Copster, who were there with you, talked about, or Christian, talked about, Chicago and all that. And he told me about the Illuminatis. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's a restaurant, but it sounds like the Illuminatis.
Yeah.
I just heard the Illuminati, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, nah,
I don't want to go in there.
I would love to have walked into Illuminati meeting,
I'm good.
I want to see Jay-Z, Beyonce.
It's just...
It was good, fam.
It's Taco Bell.
But yeah, it was dope. And the Art Institute of Chicago was dope as well.
Chicago has artists.
That's the
it's
same
the home
spot.
It's the home of Kanye.
Yeah,
it's the home of Chance the Rapper.
Yeah,
it's the home of the Bean.
Wait. Oh, the Bean. Yeah, the Silver Bean. I was gonna say, I was scared of Chicago for a long time, man.
Really?
Because I just know Chirac. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
That's really all I knew of Chicago before going to Chicago. Sure. Like, I'm telling, if you would have talked to me like my freshman year of college,
it's a good city, right? I've been there and I loved it.
I love it. I love it. If you would have talked to me my freshman year of college, I would have said I'm never going to Chicago my entire life. Really? Just because I was scared of like getting murdered, you know?
Yeah.
But I found out that was really only a couple of blocks or whatever.
Interesting.
But
well, you could say the same thing about like LA and.
No, but have you seen the murder race in Chicago?
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a different thing out there. Yeah. But I mean, I was scared, but now going there and like seeing what, I mean, downtown is huge. I mean, downtown was like fucking like 5 miles or whatever, you know? That's bigger than like LA. That's 3 times bigger than like LA's downtown. But yeah, it was really dope, man.
That's awesome. It was fire. How was the con itself? The little that you got of it.
The little I got of it was nice, man.
Did you get to any panels or? No.
No, I didn't see any.
Did you walk the floor at all?
I walked the floor like
How
one
was
time.
that?
Yeah, floor was nice. The floor was nice. It wasn't as big as the Comic-Con one, obviously, but it was a lot. I mean, they had a lot of great setups, a lot of great shop, a lot of great artwork. They had like these storyboards, like the original like storyboards that I'm sure they were like replicas or whatever, but giant art pieces that were like some for the movie fans and some for the Star Wars, you know, fans, you know, in terms of like the expanded universe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Television, all that stuff. They had those giant. I'm sure you saw a lot of people in the pictures of like the Empire or the Emperor's throne or whatever. Yeah, they had that big setup over there. It was great. Like overall, like the design was really well, and then it wasn't as crowded and as packed as Comic-Con.
As Comic-Con, yeah.
Whereas like everybody's like, yeah. You know? It was a lot.
The environment was cool.
The environment was chill, man. And I gotta say, man, leaving LA, like this is really a problem, man. Like the homeless people in LA is like crazy, bro. Because I went to Chicago. I walked around at 2 a.m. at night in Chicago, bro, downtown, in the heart of downtown. I only saw maybe about 3 homeless people.
Well, that's because LA. There's like a city of homeless people.
I'm like, damn,
it's too much. It really is.
Yeah, you can't take 2 steps in LA without seeing a homeless dude. You know what I mean? Like that's how you know it's a problem with the city of LA.
It really is
instead of, you know.
But that's really cool, man. I mean, one thing I want to give a shout out to, and I did it last year and I'll do it again this year, is the fact that I've as someone who always wants to go to these events and I was willing to go. I was gonna go to Star Wars Celebration. I told my parents, I'm like, I don't care if schmoes or collide. I don't care about any of that. I'm just going as a fan. Like I will pay money to go. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, Chicago. And I'm like, I'm not going. Because I thought it was going to be in Anaheim, to be honest, as everyone else did. As like big speculation was like Anaheim because of Galaxy's Edge. So I was willing to pay. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to drive to Anaheim and go to Star Wars Celebration. But then they said Chicago. And I was like, I can't.
So what's Galaxy's Edge? Tell me about this.
It's Star Wars Land. In Disney.
Okay. I see.
They had a panel about it at the Star Wars Celebration.
I recorded Dorian, man. I did the whole video for him when we he did a whole video about Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, no way.
I have the fucking iPhone for him.
What?
And I asked
it doesn't show up.
Yeah, so I asked this dude, man.
Full disclosure, Dorian was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he didn't reply to anybody's text, man.
Yeah.
That fucking guy, man.
Come on now.
Come on, Dorian.
Either way.
He said he listened to 5 seconds of last week's podcast.
Yeah, I think he's still hurt by you calling Old Town Road a trash song.
It's trash, bro. Dave said it was trash.
It really isn't trash.
Dave said it was trash.
It's not trash.
It's not a good rap song, nor is it a good country song.
It's a good country song.
It's not a good country song.
Have you heard country?
I mean, listen, it's accessible.
Country is low-key true.
Listen, man.
I'm like trying to like hide it. I'm like, country's true.
Hey, man. Screaming loud and proud. Country's. But isn't Casey Musgraves, isn't she like some country
bullshit? Yeah, she's country, and I love that song. I've heard
a couple of her songs.
That song's okay, yeah, but she's like country pop. She's like Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Taylor Swift until she did that Shake It Up, Shake It Up.
Where have you been, bro?
I mean,
you don't remember like 16-year-old Taylor Swift, country Taylor Swift, where she had like the freaking cowboy boots and all that?
I know she made a lot of breakup songs. I never broke up with nobody at that point, so I didn't really care.
But yeah, freaking Dorian was supposed to be here. But yeah, either way, I thought it was going to be in Anaheim. I was ready to go. I couldn't go. I will go next year in Anaheim because I'm excited to do that. But either way, man, I want to give a shout out to one thing that's an interesting conversation in general about cons. It's the fact that they stream everything online, and it's the best thing ever. Nice. I'm able to watch panels. I'm able to watch interviews. I'm able to walk the floor through the Star Wars show. Live streaming at Star Wars Celebration on YouTube is God's gift to a Star Wars fan, because it really is the coolest thing ever that I can wake up at 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning or wherever, or go to work and watch it on my computer at work, because that's what I do. and watch a full Star Wars panel and get that experience and get the interviews and get the conversation. And, they take us through the floors and through the merchandise and conversations with the cast. And it's honestly something that every con, specifically San Diego Comic-Con, should do. Right. If San Diego Comic-Con streamed the panels, if San Diego Comic-Con streamed the floor and other panels like that, we would have like a significant amount of people not stressing out about hotels, not stressing out about getting a badge or getting a pass or trying to get into Hall H, because you can just watch it on your damn laptop. And you wouldn't have the crazy congestion that happens in downtown San Diego.
So did you pay for the live stream?
No, it's free on YouTube.
So, but did you see any of the footage or stuff? Or?
Yes.
They showed
except for The Mandalorian. That's the only. They showed 3 minutes of Mandalorian footage that they did not show to the public for some reason. Everything else was
Well, I was gonna say, like, wouldn't it be a cool business model if like cons like charge people just like $4, $5 for the live stream?
If they want to do that, even that would be better.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and they'll show the footage like that way,
Yeah.
And I think that way you make a whole lot more money for basically doing some shit that you're doing for free.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less stressful on the people who actually want to go to the con.
Yeah, and it's how many times have we said that, it sucks I can't go, or I tried to get a ticket, I couldn't get a ticket for people who try to go to Comic-Con. Like, now you can go to Comic-Con without going to Comic-Con, essentially. Yeah. That's an advantage for so many people who are not able to do it.
Yeah. Hey, man, San Diego Comic-Con, man, give me a call, bro. We got a business model we could work out, man.
This is coming from me.
It was coming from both of us,
Hey, man, you steal my Endgame ticket, now you're trying to steal my con ideas, bro?
Well, that's how the Schmodown fucking survives with, like, people who can't make the live events. They buy the live stream pay-per-view.
It's a solid business model. It really is really, really dope, man. But finally, let's end this by talking about your adventures on, what is it, American Airlines?
American
the best airlines on the planet.
American Airlines, man.
Very awesome, right?
Y'all gotta do some ball gargling or something, bro, because y'all really fucking me over, man. Y'all really fucked me, man. I couldn't believe it. Bro, I was on the plane for 7 hours. I was on the tarmac for 7 hours.
You were sitting in there, like, inside the plane?
Inside the plane.
Waiting? What happened? Why wasn't there a riot? I would have started a riot with 30 minutes in there.
I know, because, bro, the fucking flight attendants kept lying to us, dog. Like, they kept trying to keep us calm and shit.
Then no one started. Come on, man. There's got to be. Come on. I sent you that SNL sketch of, like, angry white lady. If there was an angry white lady in there, she would have torn that plane in half.
Oh, man.
She would have gone full Hulk.
No one got the
There
chance
was no angry white lady in there?
There's no angry white lady, unfortunately.
Man.
But
she would have moved mountains,
there
bro.
There was an old dude who sat like a couple rows in front of us who was like getting pretty livid. But again, the flight attendant, the shit she kept saying, like, sounded so good to us, like, it just, we thought shit was sweet, you know what I mean? Plus, we're on those planes that like have like the movies and shit. So a lot of people were just staying calm, trying to watch a movie, trying to sleep or whatever. But that shit was just, so what happened is we board the plane at about 9:50. We get on that bitch. It's early in the morning. We had a late night before. I was still like super drunk from the night before. I'm not gonna lie. So I literally, like, I'm on the plane. I put my jacket around my neck to make like a fake neck pillow, whatever. And I could only sleep on planes for like an hour and a half max, and then I wake up and I'm like,
that's all I do, sleep on planes.
I really,
I talked to the Wangers before you guys went to Chicago, and I was like, do you guys sleep? And I was like, that's all I do. I literally just get on the plane, sleep.
Yeah, I got
the whole flight. I sleep.
I got some good. I got about an hour. So that's the thing. Like, I went to sleep wholly expecting, like, when I wake up, I'll be in the air. You know what I mean? So I went to sleep at like 9:55 or whatever. Wake up, I'm kind of in the day. It's kind of confused. It's 10:50. We're still on the fucking ground. I'm like, yo, wait, what happened? What happened? They're like, oh, snow on the tarmac. You know what I mean? Some bull.
Well, they can at least exit the plane and
so literally
reassess or something?
Around like 11:30, 11:45-ish, one of the flight attendants was just like, hey, listen, like, we could give you the option to leave now, and you could leave now. You could get off this plane now, because we hadn't left to get at that point. She's like, you could leave the plane now, get it off. The only thing is, like, your luggage will be flying to LA. So, like, if you want to have to figure that out, you can, Or you could wait for another hour, and then the plane's going to get ready to take off, and it's going to be all gravy. So everybody on the plane was like, all right, fine, fucking, we'll just stay on. We pull out of the gate. We pull onto the tarmac. The fucking plane has to be de-iced, and there's like seven planes or like 10 planes in front of us or something like that. So it's like, it was like we're frozen there,
And then
bro.
they had to get you guys off. After the 7 hours were up, what happened? Did they get you guys off the plane?
They got us off the plane. They were like, bro, because all they handed us was a couple of crackers and a tiny ass glass of water. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that's a good point.
So literally,
what if you could you use the bathroom? Could you get
yeah,
up?
you could use the bathroom, yeah. But I mean,
But you couldn't drink any. Oh my god, or eat.
So yeah,
you guys must have been dying.
They had like 8 bottles of water for the entire plane. Like,
oh my god.
So literally, it was like, so bro, we get off the plane and they're like, before we get off, they're like, hey, listen, when we get back to the gate, we're gonna have food there. We're gonna have things for you there. Like, we're like, all right, shit sounds cool, whatever. We get back to the fucking gate. And we get back to the gate, and then the ladies are. Before we get back to the gate, though, everybody on the plane is like, all right, we gotta like start rebooking. Because after being 6 hours on the plane, like, of course you gotta rebook. You know, all the fucking flight attendants are like, the flight's not canceled yet. Don't cancel your flight. Like, it's all gonna be okay. The second we pull up to the gate, Ace, flight canceled. Everybody gets the notification on their phone. You know what I mean? Like, and then we step off the plane. They handed us these fucking like little tickets or whatever. Are they flight vouchers? No. Are they food vouchers? No. It's a fucking card with the American Airlines reservations phone number on there. Oh, would you like to book another flight? Like, the fuck, man?
What about hotel?
Nothing, man. They give us shit. I called American Airlines and they were like, they acted like they had no idea what I was talking about. You know, like, They help nobody, bro. Nobody. Bro,
Wow.
They threw our luggage out of the plane like it was the fucking Hunger Games, bro. Like,
What?
I don't know if you saw the picture that Cameron Rice posted.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
Bro, it was like they just threw people's luggage out, like, in baggage
There's some
claim,
like
dog.
fire festivals.
Yeah,
shit.
literally fire festival, bro. Like, I was appalled.
That's crazy.
And then American Airlines DM'd me. I was trying not to talk shit about them for like a solid week, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let me see what they're gonna offer me. But them motherfuckers haven't done shit, man. They keep DMing me. I'm like, yo, what's the update?
What did they DM you?
They're like, you can submit a report at this link right here. We can like submit it for you. I'm like, all right, submit it for me then, bitch. Like, cause I already made a report anyway. So like, I was like, oh, let me see if something pushes forward like off this, you know. But they haven't responded to shit, man. So. Well, fuck American Airlines. I'm never flying that shit again.
You know
man.
what's wild is like I don't think I could have. I mean, then again, it's like you have to, but then again, I don't think I could have done that. I don't think I could have done it, man.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why is because I've never gone on a flight more than like 5 or 6 hours. That's one.
Yeah.
2 is the fact that I'm mad claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Mad claustrophobic to the point that if I was stuck on a plane for 7 hours grounded, I would lose my mind. I would throw a temper tantrum, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was getting
then again,
crazy.
I think everyone kind of thought the same thing, right?
Yeah, like, we're gonna be off soon, you know.
Yeah.
But it'll make you stir crazy, man. I was
It made me.
stir crazy.
It would have made me. I'm so claustrophobic. Like
Yeah.
I can't deal being that squished for that long.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Yeah,
Did you like do anything afterwards at least, or like was someone
nah.
with you? Were you like?
Well, I was with Cameron.
Okay, just
right,
you and
so-
Cameron.
Yeah. So it was like a bond experience with us. You
Okay.
know? But man,
That's another guy I want to talk to more.
Yeah.
I met him once at movie fights.
Oh yeah, he's super cool. Man, I'm telling you, like I was like 5 minutes away from yelling bomb or something, like just to get us off that plane, bro. Like, cause dog, like I honestly don't think like anybody, like the pilots, the flight attendants, because bro, they said like 4 hours in, they couldn't even take off anymore because the pilots were like off the clock. They're like off duty. They spent too much time in the plane or whatever, you know. So like that's the reason why we had to go back to the gate. It wasn't because the flight was canceled. They told us that we had to go back because the pilots had to get off the plane or whatever. So that was bullshit, bro.
Wow.
Bullshit.
Wow. That's crazy, man. I genuinely feel bad. And then obviously when you came home, did you at least, go home and sleep?
Bro, I came home and I got hit by a fucking car.
I know,
Bro,
right? I just wanted to bring it out of you.
I can't believe it, man.
I felt bad.
Bro,
I can't lie.
My mom wanted some special popcorn from like this place called Jarrett's in Chicago or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, fine, I'm gonna get it for her. Whoop-de-whoop. I get back Tuesday morning, come back to my apartment. I'm like,
Was it a parked car? Did you hit your car parked?
No. I was making a right, and I had made a kind of a wider right turn.
Yeah.
And the dude like fucking. I guess he tried to slip in and try and beat me to the light or whatever. Fucking smashed me, bro. Like,
damn.
I got the scratches on not scratches. I got the dent and shit on my car. And it's like, damn, man. it's like you can't ask for nice shit anymore, bro. Like,
Dang.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, I texted you and I was like, man, the first reaction I had was like, God was trolling you.
Yeah.
That's what I texted you.
Yeah.
I'm like, God's trolling you, bro. Because sometimes I feel like God is just like, troll.
Yeah, you know what?
Sometimes I feel like God is like, please, God, whatever happens, please don't let, and he just like drops it on. He drops a piano on your head and you're like, that's God like mocking you.
Yeah. No, I will
Straight up
say,
making fun of you.
That's what I was going to say. Like, a few weeks ago, I said on this podcast, God's a cold motherfucker. You know what I mean? I got some apologies to the Lord. The Lord, I apologize.
I don't know if it's cold. I think it's fun. I think to him it's funny. Like he just trolls. where like, God, whatever happens, don't let this guy. And then the guy shows up and opens the door. Like I've had that happen to me, and I'm like, yo, that's straight up like trolling. But that's crazy, man. I mean, at least you survived, and you had. I'm telling you, man, if they had that angry white lady from the SNL sketch, she would have ripped that plane in half. She would have opened it, and she would have been like, and just ripped it and just made a hole for you guys to escape.
Dude, the ride home, we went from Chicago, further east to Pittsburgh, further east to Philly, and then flew back to LA.
It was a red eye too, right?
Yeah, we were in Pittsburgh for like 6 hours. So we went from Pittsburgh. We went from Pittsburgh Airport, and then we had a hotel, and we slept for like 3 hours, and then came back to the Pittsburgh Airport.
Damn.
And did that shit.
Can I say that at least this is all full disclosure? Yeah. Sorry. Were you at least paid?
Yeah, I was paid. Yeah. Fortunately,
was the Mark Ellis event at least fun or funny?
Oh man, Mark was great, man. Yeah? Mark was great, and man, fucking Mark, he's a professional, man. Yeah. Because that dude powered through some of the toughest challenges any stand-up comedian. Because we're doing it in a rock club. This rock club called Reggie's. I guess it's like an iconic place in Chicago. The first, because we shot 2 of his sets, so the first set we did went pretty fine. It was more of a practice run for him, but he always, I think, intended to have the second one. I don't even know if this is like too much to be talking about, but whatever. I'm not spoiling any of the jokes. I'm just telling you the behind-the-scenes process. The first half went great. The second half, there was a rock band that was performing in between the gap between the first band for the first and the second one. So literally, like
sound issue.
So yeah, they were supposed to. The band was supposed to end at 10:30. They ended up getting pushed back to 11. Mark sent up 3 other comedians: Jay Washington, Joseph Scrimshaw, Ken and Josh, 3 others to fill up time before he goes on. Mark still goes on. These guys, it's 11:15. These fuckers are still playing. Like he did the whole first half of his set playing through these fucking disgusting rock music playing next door to him, And then on top of that, in the front row, there was these 2 British fucking hecklers, man. Like these fucking douchebags, man. There was one British dude. I guess they were like talking to each other or whatever the entire show. And Mark literally had to stop the show. It's like, are you guys gonna fucking stop? Gonna shut the fuck up? Like, because they're interrupting his set. Like they're talking while he's telling his jokes. So it was just all crazy. Like he powered through all of that, man. Like he powered through and he delivered a great set. And
that's crazy.
It's really cool.
Dang, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Did you guys at least hang out afterwards or during Chicago or?
Oh yeah, we hung out. I mean, we saw, we went to this place called Giordano's.
Dorian was there with you.
Yeah,
I saw a picture or whatever.
And Dorian, yeah, we went to, he hung out at the bar with us for the last day or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I thought me and Dorian were cool after, I bought him a drink. He bought me one,
shade, bro. You got to throw that shade.
But hey, man, Dorian's my guy, though, man. I'm never gonna diss the dude publicly.
Yeah,
other people
even though you
just nah, man, that's different. I mean, me and Dorian are boys. I mean, I hope we're boys. But he doesn't listen to this podcast, so what the fuck is he gonna?
I mean, then again, no one does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no one does.
Hey, man, I was hurt by the ratings on our Stars Born episode. Man. Like,
so was I, bro. You tweeted that out twice.
Yeah, I tried to
twice.
Get
we had
looks
2 weeks to get it to 100 views, and we still had 75 views, 70 views,
whatever, man.
I think it went down at some point, bro.
I ain't gonna. Can't have done that. I think it's like at 81 now. Hey, but listen, man, I really enjoy talking about movies that are made before 1977.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we should do that more often.
I mean, if the numbers are any indication, I think we are going to do it more often, RB3.
No, we have to, man. We got to talk about old movies. We got to talk about old movies, man. We got to celebrate.
Let's move on to our final conversation, which is probably going to be short since we went on too long. Endgame is coming out this weekend, as we said before. And as I said before, RB3 has already seen it. And I do want to kill him. And I know you do too.
Oh, man.
But we will not commit murder on this show. We will discuss what we believe will happen with a little bit of the plot, kind of the wrap up of the plot, but mainly just our feelings for Endgame and what we think will happen. This is coming from me because you already saw it, so I don't want to hear anything from you, bro. Even though you texted me.
What I did was I didn't text Ace directly, but I texted my homies my predictions before I went into Endgame, and I forwarded that text to Ace. So
okay, so let me read this. This is coming from RB3, and RB3 says Captain Marvel's going to show up in the beginning and fight with the Avengers. Then they all die except Tony and Ant-Man.
Yep.
Black Widow is going to die so Bruce can become Hulk, and Thor is going to die to complete his arc. Damn, bro, you think everyone's dying?
That was my
dang.
Yeah, that was my initial pitch.
Yes, for the Captain Marvel, I don't think the fight is going to happen. Everyone's gonna die except Tony and Ant-Man.
Yeah, I thought those two. Well, I think those two. At the time of writing that text, I thought those two were.
Yeah, I was gonna say, careful what you say, bro.
Yeah.
Careful.
At the time of writing that text, I was under the assumption that those two would be the ones who
what's interesting?
use the quantum energy or whatever.
Oh God, this is me being such a weirdo. I'm such a weirdo. I still believe that not only, and this is something I'm passionate about, and I'm gonna find out obviously Thursday. Tomorrow, I don't know, it is the fact of Cap, man. I know Tony is the GOAT, Tony is the number one, but if there's anyone who's going to take a bullet, who's going to sacrifice himself, Cap is the one that not only do I feel will happen, I feel should happen. Like, I'm so passionate about the fact that Captain America sacrificing himself represents so much, not just on a term of like what he means to these movies, but just on a metaphorical level of like the guy who represents American ideals, entre comillas, or, you know, as what we believe are American ideals, taking the bullet, biting the bullet, taking the dust, beating the God, whatever it is, like that to me would be the most epic thing ever. That and Tony too. I want Tony to have his moment, and I'm sure he will. But I'm passionate about the fact that not only do I think Cap will die, I need Cap to die, because I really do feel like that is the best emotional aspect we need in a movie like this. And honestly, that's it. I've been avoiding predictions, all the videos from YouTube channels that are like, what does this mean in Avengers Endgame? And like, what do we hear from this and that? And like people spoiling it already, apparently. People like,
yeah, that's silly. That's silly.
Like to me, or like any speculation or any, I rewatched Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I know something with that is gonna come into play. I really do, especially after Lawrence Fishburne's speech about time travel and time loops and quantum realm and quantum technology being the most powerful technology, quantum, and all the times they say quantum in that movie is going to play something heavy in this movie. I know that. Everything else, man, I've been avoiding so hard to the point that I genuinely want to go to this movie. Just like Game of Thrones, who has shown almost nothing in their trailers. They've shown almost nothing in their trailers, you know, the MCU has. I want to be surprised, man. I want to have fun. I want to cheer. I want to cry. I want to experience this movie with a genuine audience, and I'm going to do that Thursday, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But that's what I need. I need Cap to die. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I feel that, man.
I love him, but to me, in order to project homies on your T-shirt right now, Falcon and Bucky, they need to kill Cap, man. They need to do it. And Falcon and the Bucky show, they should have called it Falcon and Bucky.
They have their own show now?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
On the Disney Plus streaming service?
Fuck Disney Plus.
Oh, man, I'm buying that day one.
Nah, man, get out of here,
Disney
man.
Channel original movies,
I want Disney to own everything, man. Fuck out
I don't want him Disney to own everything, but I'm still going to buy their shit.
Nah, man, I don't buy it.
I'm that guy who's like anti-Disney and pro-Disney at the same time, who like loves Disney till I die and still like is very upset at them for buying the world, because that's what they're doing. They're buying
that's
the
what
world.
They're doing, man.
Have you seen Succession?
You know what's crazy?
Yet?
I actually put on the first episode to that last night, and I really dug it.
Dude,
I watched the first episode before, but I'm
it really is like about Disney. I mean, that's kind of what they're playing at hand because it's the big mega studio that has theme parks and all that. But like after like episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you get into more like how like these companies who like make your favorite movies and theme parks have heavy political ideologies and push agendas to the core. And that's kind of the dangerous aspect of like a mega conglomerate media company doing something what Disney's doing. But then again, that's a whole different conversation. Either way, man, those are your predictions. That's my predictions. I want Cap to die because I feel like that would be the best to make the Bucky and Falcon show even better. And have freaking Chris Evans direct some episodes. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, man. He wants to be a director. Let him be a director, man. Like
that's funny. I didn't even know they had that show. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They should have called it Falcon and Bucky, man.
Falcon and Bucky.
Yeah.
I really don't know how that. Like, why would they announce that? Why would they?
They announced the Loki show, too.
I mean, I don't know why they announced that either. I don't know why they announced. I mean,
Kevin Feige spoiled it, too. Well, he didn't spoil it. He was just like, well, Loki's lived a very long time, so we're going to explore, moments in history with Loki. And I'm like, oh, it's a time travel show with Loki. That's what it is. That's what he said, yeah. The Falcon and Bucky one, I don't know why they announced it or why they spoiled it. It beats me.
Well, I mean, I guess Spider-Man was coming out too, so you can't really hide that.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I mean, hey man, I personally I followed all the predictions, particularly from New Rockstars.
New Rockstars.
I watched every single.
So hard,
bro. It's like every day they come out with a new prediction, new theory.
They do that for Game of Thrones too, and I'm like, bro, you go too hard, man.
Yeah, they go deep. The thing is, I watched every single one of them, bro. I watched every trailer like 800 times.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like, I every theory, every prediction, every trailer, like, I still walked out of there completely surprised, like, and blown back. So
it's gonna be like Quicksilver. You didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Is that
man.
it? Is that the truth?
That's a lot of it. A lot of it you don't see coming, man. It's cool, man. I mean, again, I'd say like some people have general ideas of the idea of where it's going, but it's not like what you think is going to happen scene by scene. It's a lot different than, and it's a lot. I will say like it's darker, but it's funnier too. Like it's funnier. So
really?
It's a lot funnier. Than to me at least. Infinity
I'm
War
gonna ask you off screen, and I want you to give me a genuine answer, and I will take a genuine answer. I don't want an answer to this now because as someone who notoriously, more than any human alive, and I will say it with more than any human alive. As I pick up my gallon of water.
Oh, shoot.
I need to know what moment I can get up to pee. And I want you to give me a genuine answer off camera because I don't want anyone to hear any spoilers. But I don't care about spoilers. I genuinely want you to tell me when Black Widow starts talking to blah, 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 get up to pee and run.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you right now.
Because I need to get up to pee. I do it in every movie. I told my parents, I'm like, Mom, if I get up to pee in a 2-hour movie, how the hell am I not going to get up to pee in a 3-hour movie? Like, I have to, man.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you right here on camera, don't get up.
What?
Don't get up.
I need it. What about my bladder, man?
Bro, what
about my gallon of water?
It's not like this is 3 hours wasted. Like, there's a tight 3 hours, bro. It's a tight 3 hours.
So like, if I get up to pee at any moment, I'm gonna miss something.
You'll miss one thing. I mean, there are obviously like, of course, there's slower parts in the movie,
but as full disclosure, as someone who actually gets up to pee during the actual podcast recordings,
you know
how real this is.
You pee.
It cuts to me. A steady stream of me peeing. A montage of all the times I've gotten up to pee.
All the times you got up to pee.
No, don't do that, please.
I gotta do that. That's funny. I don't even think I have.
But I'm saying, like, I actually get up to pee during podcasts, bro. Like, how am I gonna do it during not gonna do it during a 3-hour movie?
I know, man. That's tough, man. That's tough.
You're breaking my heart every 3, and you're breaking my bladder, bro.
Yeah, bite the bullet for this one, bro.
I guess I'm gonna do it, man. But either way, guys, next time we see you, we will have seen, or I will have seen Endgame. You will have seen Endgame.
Yeah,
and we will talk about it at length. We're probably gonna do a spoiler review.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might even do 2 spoiler reviews. Because why not?
Well, we could definitely. I say we should do do. I could do a regular review.
Sure.
For the
Yeah.
channel, just
Good for you.
No, I mean, I just want those views,
me.
bro. We need those clicks, man. We need those clicks on First
just
Cut, baby.
if it's just you, that's cool. If it's you and Dorian, I object.
Nah, I wanted Dorian to come to do it, but he was not even here. He didn't even show up.
Yeah. Are you gonna record it after this?
I'm gonna record it myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna record it myself.
Yeah.
Not in here. I'm gonna probably do it at home or some shit. And then we could do a spoiler review like same way we do it together
in my tiny room.
And then the next podcast we could do like the meaning of. Like the meaning of the themes.
MCU.
Yeah. We already did the MCU.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but we
I was going to say
the themes of this movie, though. There's some good themes in this movie.
Cool, man. Let's do it. All right, guys. That was the Meaning Of podcast. Make sure you go check us out on First Cut, the YouTube channel where everything is at Meaning Of. Also, check us out on SoundCloud because we're there as well. So if you have a SoundCloud song that you want us to check out, you can also go check us out on SoundCloud, RB3. Any other housekeeping items you want to brush under the rug before you brag again that you saw in Endgame?
I don't think there's any bragging that I'm going to be doing.
All right, man.
I think, of course, check out First Cut, our YouTube channel. Check out the SoundCloud. Also, if you're listening on Spotify and or iTunes, make sure you download the episode too. You know what I mean? Apparently, there's a difference between the streams and the downloads. If you download it, I guess it's more valuable or whatever. I really don't know. I really don't give a fuck. But if you are available to download, please download and then tell your friends. And Spotify is easy because you could just hit share on story. You know what I mean? So just share on the story, man.
Spotify's dope, man. That's where I listen to all my podcasts too, and I listen to a lot.
Yeah, man. I see you on the Game of Thrones podcast, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's
Casterly Talk. Shout out to that. I listen to a ton, man. I listen to a ton of podcasts, and I do it on Spotify. So check us out on Spotify. And
also, you're gonna be on Movie Fights tomorrow.
I'm gonna be on Movie Fights tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. So check me out there. Check me out on Movie Fights. I'll be around talking more MCU stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So support the homie and support the homies by checking us out on First Cut. So for the Meaning Of podcast, guys, I am Ace.
This is RB3.
And we are peacing out. Peace out.